guys, today I want to show you a few of the softwares that I really prefer to use when I design something for 3D printing. It's usually kind of depending on what kind of level of the part that you want to do, you have to choose the correct software basically. So if you're a tinkerer and you don't have a business, or you don't have any company behind you and you just want to create content for 3D printing either with your own printer or maybe using a friend's printer, your school's printer, your company's printers, or maybe using a third-party service like 3D Hubs or similar, then you don't want to really pay a lot of money for a software or even any money at all. So using some of the free softwares out here, there's a bunch of them. I'm sure that you can just comments in the comments to share your favorite software, but I really want to show you the Autodesk lineup that I've come to enjoy during the last few months and years of using 3D printers. So it basically starts off with the Autodesk 123D apps, which is a set of free apps for anyone to download. They're non-commercial mostly. You can check all of them separately depending on what you want to use them for. But basically you go to 123dapp.com, and in here you find basically a lot of different things, but they kind of list all your all the softwares down here. So you have 123D Catch, which is a software where you can use your phone or a camera to 3D scan or to generate a 3D model from photos. I'm not going to call this 3D scanning because it's more or less remodeling or trying to use the data to get a 3D model. It works pretty well depending on your setup, but sometimes it's difficult. You can see here a few projects that the people have done. I have access to better scanners, so for me it's I wouldn't recommend this for all types of scanning, but it's really good if you don't have any easier solution. If you don't have a Kinect or similar, this is great for being able to capture a few things. So what you can do, for example, is to scan someone's head. If you ask them to sit real still, you can take a lot of photos around the model. Let's see if we can just show a little video here on how it works. So basically, as you can see here, they're moving around the person. So this is the difficult part, staying still. That's really difficult. But you can use your phone and you just capture a few images. So you see here 29 images. Usually you want to do a bit more than that. But then you upload them and you get your free model from that. So this is cloud-based service, so you don't do the processing on your own phone. This model still has to be cut and made a solid before printing, but that's for another chapter. That's for another software. You have 123D circuits. Just going back here on the different apps that you can get here for free. 123D circuits are a free software for creating circuit boards, really, or planning your circuits, really. I haven't used it much myself, but it looks really cool, and it looks like for tinkerer or for if you're just doing a school project, I think this is a really good way of if not only planning, but you actually get a really good software to plan your model and to have a great visualization on how you want to do it. Something that's good if you want to plan for show your teachers or show your colleagues or friends on how you want to do something and explain more in depth on how you'll do it. Going back here, we have 123D Design, which we will look at in a second. This is a really good 3D modeling software where you can create solid models for printing. So you can see here there's a lot of good projects in the gallery. There's a great bunch of tutorials, so it's really easy if you don't have any background or knowledge at all in 3D modeling or CAD modeling. This is probably the best software to start with, because they have so much video material and tutorials showing you how to do really how the software works. if we just step back here, before we'll go into this software more deeply, we'll go through the other ones as well. So 123D Make is pretty cool. You can take a STL file or OBJ file, a normal model, and turn it into 2D planes. So if you have a laser cutter, or you have some sort of other materials or 2D machines that you can use, you can actually take a 3D model, maybe from 123D Catch, and create a cool model in these different interlocking patterns. So for example, if you have a really big laser cutter, you can actually do things like bookshelves and similar in different kind of shapes. So this is really cool. If you want, you can of course print in normal paper and cut it out yourself, but that's going to be really difficult. I think cardboard is really cool here, just to show a few examples. Then you have 123D Sculpt, which is a tool. It's really, as you can see here, it's made for tablets, so it's made for sculpting models. So you can create your own. It's like a digital clay. So you start off with a basic shape, and then you form it. You cut it. You scrape it into the perfect shape of your model. This is really good for if you want to print something, because it's more or less a solid when you push the clay around. And there's also a few tools here, as you can see, for creating bones, if you want to arrange the model and animate it. But that's more advanced to animate stuff. Mesh Mixer is a great tool if you don't want to create something at all, you just want to combine models. So what you can do here, the mesh and mix function is my favorite function, where you basically take two models and put them together. So the problem with models are that they're usually hollow. So a solid model is a part, and then you have another model which may be the B part. If you put them together, as you can see here, if you put them together, they will just stick through each other. There's nothing preventing them from colliding, so there's no reforming being done. So what you end up with is a double negative, or a surface in here. So this shape here, I'm not sure what it's called in English, but this shape here is basically an STL file. So you have the triangles here. So you have a lot of triangles, and they have outside and then inside. So on the inside there's actually no solid, it's just empty space, but all the surfaces here, all the triangles are facing outwards. So you end up with a hollow volume inside of here. And the same thing with this model. As you can see, this is much more triangulated, so it's more detailed than this one. So what Mesh Mixer enables you to do is to, for in this case, use the other model as a bounding box, or just a limitation on how you can sculpt. But you can also use it here, as you can see, to actually connect the same model. So it kind of wraps a new model, or using voxels. So it's combining models and shapes to each other, and you can do a lot of different things here as well. But the main part here, if you have two STL files, the main reason why we use Mesh Mixer is if you have if you're looking at Thingiverse, for example, and you find a really cool iPhone case, and then you want to create a umbrella holder, I don't know, something really cool, and you find an umbrella holder on Thingiverse as well, then you have two STL files. Sometimes you even get a solid file, but usually you don't. So let's just say that we have two STL files, so two polygon models. With Mesh Mixer, you can put those together, and it will create a new solid. It's not a solid model, but it's a new model only containing one mesh, so to say. So you take two parts and you create a new part that's that looks like the two previous models. This enables you to print that model without any strange artifacts or strange hollow areas inside your model. So it's really good if you don't have a CAD model, or if you don't have the ability to remodel your two things that you want to combine, for example. So that's Mesh Mixer. Then you also have TinkerCAD. So TinkerCAD is more or less the the most basic software of them all. This is made for kindergarten, for schools from age, let's say age 6 to 9. I think this is a good software just to try it out. The hierarchy of softwares when it comes to from Autodesk creating models is TinkerCAD is the first one that you want to use. You want to try this one, and then you go up to 1-3D Design. They kind of have the same way of thinking, way of modeling, but you start off with TinkerCAD, you go to 1-3D Design, and when you're ready you can also go to Fusion 360, which is a great software from Autodesk. It's one of the best, I think, because it's cheap, it's very powerful, it's easy to use, and it's actually free for a year at a time if you're not a company with a certain level of certain level of revenue. So for students it's free, for private persons it's free as well, as long as you don't earn a certain amount of money. It's also cloud-based, so you can collaborate really easy with colleagues. At our office we have, for example, a few of our guys working with this software from different offices, working with the same files and just syncing everything together. It's really, really easy. So if we start off from that, we're gonna it has the design flows. You have forms, which is T-splines, for everyone who knows what that is. It's a great way of creating organic shapes. Then you have more simulation and engineering part in it. You also have the CAM parts, so you can do milling, for example, and it's really complete. We'll take a deeper look in that later. So let's just start off with showing you how TinkerCAD looks. You also have TinkerPlay, by the way. This is a much easier software where you can kind of explore the way of 3D printing. So you use this on your tablet. It's connected with the MakerBot machines, but you can also use it for other machines. The thing is that you just drag and drop different kind of parts there, and you create these kind of snap-on characters. So I think this is really cool for a consumer that doesn't know 3D modeling at all, and they want to have a 3D printer, and they got a 3D printer, or they have access to one. So this is a great way of just playing around with cool characters. It's great for kids. I think it's really, really cool. So you can see you can use them from the iPad or Sony Xperia pads, and then etc. So let's just make a quick dive through from some of these softwares. So this is the TinkerCAD. So we're going to start off here. So TinkerCAD is the most basic level for 3D design. So you can use Sculpt and Mesh Mixer as well, but they're kind of separate, I would say. TinkerCAD can also run in the web browser, so I'm actually running it here in Chrome. So you can do things like shape generators, or just kind of get going here. I just want to create a box. I'm going to drag in a box, and I'm going to rearrange it in my measurements. And I'm going to move it around. No, I'm not going to move it. Maybe something like that. And then I want to create a cylinder. So I'm creating a cylinder. I can drag that around. And I want this to be a hole. That's the purpose of my cylinder. I don't know why, but that's what I want to do. So here we go. Yeah, there's a lot of advanced stuff here as well, but more or less creating simple shapes, combining them. Starting off, maybe you want to create a tube here and make it, let's say, we want to make a box hole and to cut through a few parts. You can do numbers, and it's kind of simple, but it's a really basic level. So it runs in the browser. This is to just try 3D. Just try it. Put in an egg. I don't know. Do text and yeah, everything here. So yeah, really basic, but hey, why not? You can download for the 3D printing. You can download to insert in Minecraft. It's really cool here. So for example, for kids, you can create your houses in this software using cool types of shapes and texts and everything. And you box on top of here. Yeah, so you can just kind of draw stuff. As I mentioned, this is the most easiest version out there. So with that finished, I think TinkerCAD. I'm not gonna go much deeper in this one because it's really self-explaining. All you have to do is drag in your model and click on them to adjust. Not much more to do. If you wanna see more, you can see the TinkerCAD tutorial videos here, or just learn more about TinkerCAD. So we're gonna quit that and we'll dive into the next level. So TinkerCAD for kids, for kindergarten, and then we move off to 1, 2, 3 design. This is for non-CAD experts, for non-computer geniuses. It's for the average user, the consumer user. It's really easy. If you want to get going with easy 3D printing, this is the software that you should choose, and then you can step up to Fusion 360 after that. So I have this open here, Autodesk 1, 2, 3D Design. So you can do a lot of things there. You can start off with importing files if you want to have maybe a 2D drawing. Maybe you have a logo that you want to take in. You can do it here. You take in SVG. You can extrude it. You can create or just use it as a reference. So in this case, I kind of just want to start drawing. But you also can then later 3D print, order it online, or use just your normal printer, export that STL format, for example. Great set of tools. So you have kind of the same workspace here, a little bit different controls. You have your view cube up here, it's signature Autodesk. These are your different tools. So you have transform tools. Yeah, just hovering over the tools shows you better alignment or just a better explanation of what you're doing. Then you have primitives. Primitives are dangerous to use, I think. They kind of, well, you can use them as a start, but usually you're doing something more advanced than a box or cylinder or whatever. Sketch tools are really great to create different parts that you can extrude or radiuses and different things. Construct is to, of course, extrude, sweep, and revolve, and just create these cool 3D models from shapes. Modifying, you can press pull to move surfaces around. Split faces, you can do the fillet and chamfer. You also see here there's short commands for the keys. So split solids is a great tool to use. Shell as well. These are for, yeah, if you want to do fillet and chamfers on your models. And then of course you have these kind of more advanced here where you do patterns to combine models or arrange. If you want to do maybe screw holes, for example, you can do this in a really quicker way. You have combining where you merge, subtract, or intersect different types of models. And text and snap, of course, materials as well. Usually, the way I design stuff is that I think the bigger shape first, and then you add details. So, for example, if we want to make a coffee cup, we can start off with a cylinder. And we click on this cylinder, and we kind of want to tweak it. We're actually gonna that's why I don't like to use primitives. So I usually start off with a shape, so I click on where I want to draw, and I want my coffee cup to be 100 millimeter in diameter, like so. And then in this case, I could do this in a few different things. I'm gonna draw like this. Actually, in this case, I need to construct a new plane. Sorry, here it is. So I have this shape here. My cylinder shape, or sorry, my 2D face. I want to extrude it, and I want my coffee cup to be, let's say, 75 millimeters. 75. Great. And I actually kind of want this to be a hole inside, otherwise it's really difficult to drink. So I'm just gonna create a new hole here on our new cylinder. So it was 100, and I want the inner side to be, let's say, 70. And now I have a new shape which I can extrude, and I'm just gonna pull this down. And of course I don't want to pull it down all the way. I want to have it like somewhere around that, for example. There we go. So now when I select here, this is one of the negative sides with 123D design. It's difficult to work with the different sketches. So usually I have to hide sketches to be able to select things. So hide sketches, like so. Now I can select this radius, and maybe I want to do a fillet on that one, so I get a soft shape inside. Easier for the coffee to run out, right? Okay, so now we have that. This is the basic shape for my coffee cup. Maybe we want to draw something. We could, like here on the side, we could maybe project a pattern here. Something to draw on, so we could create maybe we'll create like a handle. So we're going to use the polyline tool instead. Now I'm going to draw it here flat and then move it around and combining it. So let's draw some kind of cool here. This is really cool stuff. This is a crazy handle. Maybe something like that. Maybe not, but hey, it works for me. So I'm just gonna take a sketch it fill here. So maybe this part should be a little bit more softer, something like that. Maybe this one as well. So the thing here with this software is that it's a little bit slower than other softwares. So you don't have all the tools available. You kind of have to work around to get some effective or efficient mode. It's really slow if you compare to other things. So now I have this here, and I wanna move it around. Move this one, move it up. I wanna rotate it 90 degrees. There we go. And move it here into this model. Now I see that I kind of made it too big. But hey, why not? Let's make this more creative. Something like that. And just up a little bit. now it's inside. Move it out like that. That's good. So now we have two models. We have this one and we have this one. So we want to combine those two. So using the solids tools here, we want to combine. So we take that part and we click enter. Now we have one part. This also means that we have these kind of shapes here. So I could take this one and do a fillet on that one. So we get this cool, really cool radius here. Just for style, I'll do it here as well. So fillets and something like that. Yeah, if I do too much, I get this warning up here. Whoops. Yeah, maybe something like that. That's really cool. That's design for you. Hey, it's very difficult to print, but it's something. So there we have it. We just combined two models and we drew something really simple in 123D Design. You can do a lot more than this, but it's kind of basic software. But here we have it, the coffee cup. See if we can just do a little chamfer on this one as well. Nope. Maybe a radius on this one. That's going to be really terrible to drink from, but hey, who cares? Great, and now we'll export as 3 STL file, and just save it somewhere, and then you can print it. But then we have the Fusion 360, which is kind of the main software, I would say. It's the CAD software, the real CAD software. So in here you can do really complicated projects, assemblies, and just everything that you need. There's great tools for rendering your files as well. I can show you here a few files that I'm working on. This is one of the camera projects that I'm doing. So these files are this software is really good. You have the different modes here in the software. So you have modeling, which is solid modeling, patches to create kind of 2D files, or sorry, no, not 2D files, shapes or surface models instead of solid models. You have a rendering. You can do some easy animation if you want to show how something's supposed to work. Simulation, where you can simulate pressure and things like that. And CAM, so you can prepare for milling, creating different paths for your CNC machines and etc. You can actually see how the machines will work. So we're going to do a much deeper dive into this software, but I kind of want to show you how it's constructed. So you have your product here. You have different views, selection sets. If there's, you want to select a few parts, and you can save those. Origins, basically your base here, if you want to construct on different planes. You have your bodies, so these are the different bodies here, as you can see them highlighted. I can select, for example, the big one here, can move it around. It's kind of the same tools from 123D Design. Whoops. So this is a part of a camera slider, so you use these rods to, to slide the camera around without friction. And then you have sketches, so you have these kind of shapes here. So tracing these ones will actually show you how this model were done. So this is the sketch 2. This is the outline for this model. So I kind of made this outline, just pushed it through. I created this model to create holes, and then this one to create the lines here to snap out more. So you can see here how when I'm showing one of the sketches, you can see here how actually why don't we do that? So let's just hide all of these. Hide, and we'll start off with this sketch here. So you can see here, if you remember now, we have these sketches coming later, but this sketch I extrude it, I create a solid, so now we have a 3D model here. Really cool. I use the next sketch, which is this one, to create a few holes. So I take those and I extrude them down. And I have the tools here so I can join them if I want to, but not in this case. I want to cut like so. Now I have a few cuts in the model. Yeah, I know it's not correct, but I just want to show you quickly how it's done. So that was sketch 5, then we used sketch 7. So we used, for example, this part here and this part to cut through the model, like so. And then we probably had, let's see here, yeah, we have a few more sketches here if we want to create like, I think this was to create some kind of hole. So now we have a hole through the model. What else is there? Are there any cool sketches here? Nah, not really. So what you can do, for example, is you have the different tools up here during model. Now when I have a model, I can, for example, if I want to draw something on this plane, I'm just going to select that, create a sketch. It's now on top of this. As you can see here, the sketch plane is perpendicular to the surface that I want to model on. Maybe I want to do, let's just do something really silly, a text. Let's say, hi, this is a text. Something like that, and bold, of course, bold, not bald. Now, this sketch, I can, of course, go to modify and create and extrude. So I'm gonna have this text actually inside of my model. There we go. Now we have a text in the solid. But maybe I want to create a fillet on that part of the text. I don't know why, but I want to. 3D, man, it's really cool. But hey, maybe I want to create a mid plane between that one and that one. Now we have that. Let's use that to create a section analysis here and see how the model looks from inside. Or we could use it as a new drawing. So we can draw, maybe I want to have these kind of strange shape for some reason. And I want to make an offset of that, something like that. So maybe I want to use this part and cut away. I don't know why, but hey, you can do it if you want to. Let's see, this one is now its own body. Yep, right. So you can just hide that one if you don't need it. So really powerful software. I'll make a guide on using the tools in Fusion 360, showing off really what it's capable of and how it works. But that's a separate guide and separate video. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this overview of the 3 basic softwares to get started with 3D printing. Yeah, I'm just going to show that as well. So you click 3D print on that part. You can send it away to a few studios here, or just save the STL file. This generates a good triangulated model of your parts. Of course, you can render this one if you want to have it in a cool material. Maybe this is, let's say, I'm not sure what kind of material this should be. Maybe plastic that's opaque. Yeah, let's say black plastic. Let's render it. This is real-time rendering, so it takes a few minutes to get a really smooth result. But I think it's pretty cool. It's really powerful. So just stepping back here into the different softwares, I really recommend starting off 3D printing with maybe 123D Design. This one here, just to get the basics in. But if you have Fusion and if you feel that you're going to do really complicated models, 1-3D design is not enough. Fusion 360 is the right tool for you. You can see here a few models for my camera projects. Let's just wait for it to load. I'm not gonna save that one. So this is for the digital SLR rig. So here's the different parts and how they're constructed, and basically just set up here. It's not really organized well. I don't do organizing. That's not my thing. But I have the different parts there, and everything's just ready for 3D printing. Click 3D print on whatever I need to have printed, and send it to a printer. Great way of inspecting here the diameters and everything. Yeah, I think that's about it, and that's about what I can show you right now. Yeah, of course you can upload step files and IGS files to here and to work with. But yeah, I think that's it. So I hope this gave you a little bit of introduction for the softwares without having to install all of them. Please stay tuned for a guide on Fusion 360, going through the different levels of modeling. So everything from basic stuff, maybe a clip holder, maybe a mug holder, why not a iPhone stand or something similar, something easy. And then we'll step it up to creating complicated parts and assemblies and everything like that. So if you like this video, please click the like button. If you didn't, then don't. If you want to see more videos, everything from printers to softwares to guides to do-it-yourself guides and everything like that, click subscribe and check out my channel. Thank you very much. Bye.